Okay, now we're going to go over Astronomy 1B, and this requirement says explain first aid for injuries or illnesses such as heat and cold reactions, dehydration, bites and stings, and damage to your eyes that could occur during observation. Okay, so heat reactions, that includes heat exhaustion, the less severe form, and heat stroke, the more severe form. Heat stroke can be very deadly, actually. So these are very serious conditions that occur when the body becomes overheated. They can actually lead to death. It's not going to be the biggest problem for most astronomy because it's done at night when it's cooler, but a lot of scout activities, this could be a potential problem if it gets too hot. So the thing to do is to cool down the victim immediately. Remove the outer clothing because clothing can trap in a lot of heat. Wet the skin. When you wet the skin, that creates evaporation, which cools somebody down quickly. Apply cold packs if you have anything like that. Use a fan, which also encourages evaporation, or place them in a tub of cool water. Ideally, you would place them in a tub of ice water, and obtain medical help as quickly as possible. Now, this could be a problem if you're doing astronomy in the winter time, and that is hypothermia. So this is the opposite of the heat reactions. Hypothermia is when the body gets too cold, the body temperature is reduced, and this can be just as serious as heat stress or heat stroke. So for hypothermia, you want to actively warm the victim. So for heat reactions, you're going to take off clothing. For cold reactions, you're going to put on clothing, put them near a heater, put them not in a cold bath, but a warm bath. Anything like that will help. If you're in the wilderness, it may be that the best thing to heat a person is another person's body heat. So if necessary, you're going to take the victim and surround them with other people's body heat in order to warm them up. And that can save somebody's life. And obtain medical help as quickly as possible. Hypothermia, again, can be deadly. Dehydration, again, is less of a problem with astronomy because it tends to be cool, so you need less water, but still something to think about. You're going to drink 2 quarts of rehydration drinks. So that's a special drink that has electrolytes. If that's not available, something like Gatorade or a sports drink would work. Water, juice, anything like that. So have them drink a lot of liquids if it's hot. Every couple hours to make sure that they stay healthy. If the victim is conscious but can't drink, try putting ice chips in their mouth. And of course, for dehydration, if you can't get enough liquids, please get medical help as quickly as possible. This can be one of the most quick ways to cause death or serious injury is dehydration. Bites and stings can be a big problem with astronomy because a lot of insects do like to come out when it's nighttime, especially just before sunrise or just after nightfall. If you get an insect bite, such as a mosquito bite, apply ointment to treat the stings or the itching. And for a tick bite, here it says to cover the tick with a substance that will cut off their air supply. So more recently, I found information that they actually say you should use tweezers to remove them and not try to cover them up with anything to suffocate them. And that's because it's more likely to transmit toxins or viruses from the tick to the person if you wait so long. So this information needs to be updated. But for ticks, now we're going to remove them as quickly as possible. Ticks can carry diseases such as Lyme disease or I believe Rocky Mountain fever for some kinds of ticks. So we don't want to mess around with a tick. If you see a tick on your skin, remove them as quickly as possible, but keep them in a plastic bag so that you can take it to the doctor and they can identify the species. That can give them information about what potential diseases may have been transmitted, or they can even test the body of the tick to identify if there's any disease in the tick. Damage to your eyes can be an important thing if you're making observations of the sun. So be sure to cover your eyes. not just with sunglasses. That's not enough. You're going to use your special solar viewing glasses, the kinds of things that they give out for free when there's an eclipse happening. If there's any damage that happens to your eyes, get medical help as quickly as possible. Okay, so that is Astronomy 1B. So now you're going to find your parent or guardian and explain to them about injuries and first aid for injuries that might occur when you're doing astronomy observations. And then your parent will report to me about what you've learned and if you've passed off these requirements.